Hey guys, and welcome back to r/EntitledPeople. We got some more Reddit posts to check out today, so be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get into it, friends. If you're going to commit a crime, you probably shouldn't dump the evidence on the property. Housekeepers go through a lot of crap, figuratively and literally, because people are truly disgusting. Dirty needles, piles of crap, rotten food, clumps of hair, sheets soaking wet with urine, used period products hiding in the bed sheets. It's not for the faint of heart. You'll learn to respect the housekeepers a great deal. I'm a front desk agent myself, but all of us are held to high standards around here. It's a nice hotel. People often worry about housekeepers stealing their things when they clean their room during their stay. Let me tell you, speaking generally in regards to all hotels, it's pretty uncommon for a housekeeper to steal something and get away with it. Most hotels take this very seriously, as they should. We have a system. Housekeeper finds an item. They write it in our lost and found binder with a date and room number, and then they put it in our storage room with the other lost and found stuff. If someone calls, we look at the binder to see if we have it. If we have it, it's returned to them and the front desk associate signs off on a paper saying they returned it. If no one claims it after 90 days, it's disposed of. It's a very specific and important process. So another day in paradise. A woman, we'll call her Susan, who had checked out just this morning, came back in, along with her husband, and told us she'd accidentally left her purse behind. Shit happens. You'd be surprised at the things people leave behind. We checked the lost and found log and didn't see anything. Okay, well, they had just checked out this morning. Maybe the housekeeper just hadn't gotten to that room yet. My coworker went upstairs to ask that housekeeper, who we'll call Bea, if she'd been in that room yet and if she'd found anything. Coworker saw Bea coming out of the room when she went up. She asked her if she'd seen the bag, and Bea said, "No, this is the first I've been in this room today. I just started stripping the sheets now." Ah, well, okay. So coworker goes into the room to do a quick check, doesn't see the bag, and then goes back downstairs to get Susan, so she can come up and check the room for herself. Susan doesn't see her bag, and she's getting pissed because she's 100% sure she left it there. She threatens to call the police, to which our response was, "If you'd like to involve the police, we support that decision, and we'll continue doing whatever we can to get your bag back to you." Meanwhile, life goes on. Coworker is at the desk folding keycard holders. One of the housekeepers is doing laundry. A couple are still cleaning their rooms, and Bea is taking out the trash, like she usually does at that time of day. The manager was called to come in when Susan confirmed she was going to call the police, so he was on his way. The police show up and start to ask some questions. They send one to speak to the head housekeeper and one talks to the front desk associate. He asks if she knew anything about it. She glanced up at him and then back down at her work for a second, before looking back at him and answering. He immediately responded with, "I noticed you lost eye contact for a second there. Do you have anything you want to tell me?" Well, aren't you a regular f***ing Sherlock? The front desk associate explains the situation again. The officer says, "Would you be willing to do a polygraph test?" "Yeah, sure, I don't care. You can do whatever. I told you what I know." Like, calm the f*** down, Sherlock. What, did you want to strip search her too? Manager shows up and the police have him pulling video from the security cameras. Bea was the only one in the room, but they didn't see her coming out with any bag. So the cops took her to our meeting room to talk to her, ask her some questions. She denied everything. They wanted to search her car, so she told them to go right ahead. Meanwhile, the manager has gone through the video and saw Bea taking the trash out. He had a hunch, as did one of the officers when he saw the footage. So the officer goes to check the dumpster, which is a feat in itself because that mother effer is huge. It's taller than I am. Lo and behold, there's Susan's bag, sans money. They found the money on Bea's person, $1,280. It was given back to the guest along with her now delightfully garbage-scented bag. Susan wanted an apology. Bea didn't give her one, so she decided to press charges. Like, bro, you literally could have gotten out of criminal charges by saying "I'm sorry." What the actual hell? And my manager fired Bea on the spot. No waiting, no warning, no thinking it over. Just, you're fired. As it should be, in my opinion. That's why housekeepers are typically so professional, because who wants to ruin their life by swiping someone's wallet? But when someone slips, the hammer comes down hard. What a day. Block me in one more time. I used to live in a multi-level apartment complex in a large city that is well known for having very expensive parking. I had 2 dedicated parking spaces back to back, allocated to my apartment. I used to sublease the car park space to a friend that would park his car on workdays. Often on a Friday night, he would taxi home after Friday night drinks and leave his car. He would then come in on the Saturday or Sunday and pick it up. Often he would park me in, but this wasn't an issue as we had access to each other's cars. A new neighbor moved into the complex, and unfortunately for me, that neighbor turned out to be a real dick. They would often see my spaces free and park me in or tell their visitors to park me in. I would often have to call them or go see them and ask for them to move their cars. It became such an issue that I had them on speed dial. We tried several things to stop them parking in our spots, such as putting in bollards, or parking in the front spot and moving the cars when we needed to park, but they would end up parking us in and parking illegally. My friend got so frustrated and said he would stop subleasing from me, which was not a big deal, as it was only an arrangement of convenience for both of us. In Australia, it is very difficult to enforce parking on private property. It is basically illegal to tow, clamp, or detain a car. So building management couldn't really help, besides putting warning stickers and writing letters. I talked to a lot of the residents in the complex, and they were having the same problems. Cue revenge. I joined the Strata Committee, which consists of all the owners, and after 6 months got elected as the president, which wasn't hard, as only a handful of residents would actively participate. I then got the common areas, which included visitor parking, to be managed by the council. We had to pay a fee, but it was worth it. When council started to patrol the common areas, the offending cars got fined pretty heavily, until they were removed. I saw at least 5 tickets, each approximately $250, on 3 of the cars. In addition, one of the cars wasn't even registered, and was ticketed for abandonment, and was eventually removed. This didn't solve the private car parking issues, so I had bylaws drafted that if residents let visitors into the private car park instead of using the visitor parking, their access would be reassessed. This meant that their access fobs, keys, would be disabled until the residents confirmed and accepted the bylaws. This meant that the offending residents, which were renters, were constantly calling their landlord and complaining, as we disabled the fobs every time we caught them using it to let visitors in. Of course, it took 24 hours, and an administrative fee to reactivate the fobs. Eventually I got the car park upgraded and the car park key fob system removed, and replaced with number plate identification instead. I've since moved out, but I still own the property and am still on the Strata Committee. I'm still well informed. I am very happy to report that there are no more parking issues. Karen threatens to kill me because I followed traffic laws. I was traveling home to my childhood home after work and school. The freeway exit at my house is a major hub, and was built in such a way that causes a lot of accidents. If you make a right turn, there's immediately another set of lights for another multiple lane intersection. These lights are supposed to be timed together, but they are often very, very off. So the first light is green and the second is red, can only accommodate 6 vehicles, before the 7th is sticking into the intersection and blocking a lot of traffic. People do this all the time, and then there's an entire blockade, because idiots can't remember you aren't legally allowed to block intersections in California. So as usual, the light turns green, cars go, the second light is red and fills up. I'm stuck at the first light. I'm not going because I cannot fit my car there, and I will be fully blocking traffic if the light turns red and it's another lane's turn to go. I hear honking, but I don't care. I legally cannot go. This car pulls up beside me. She's in the lane that's meant for turning left, so she's on my left. At first, she rolls her window down, and now I'm thinking maybe there's something wrong, so I roll my window down. "Do you want me to beat your ass, bitch?" Karen says. "What?" I ask. I was so confused. I've never met this woman in my life. Like, what have I done to you? "Out here blocking the road, you dumb bitch. I should f***ing beat your dumb ass." There's now literally cars all down the left side who cannot make a left turn because this Karen has her car parked across 2 turning lanes to get mad at me for not disobeying traffic laws that have literally caused thousands of accidents in this spot. It's a death trap. Now the light has turned green, and I'm just like, no, I'm not dealing with this, and I drive off. I'm in my car like I'm supposed to be. I'm having a mild panic attack because she's threatening to find me and basically kill me in very colorful language as I drive off. So I pull off into a parking lot with a lot of cars at the grocery store so I can slow my breathing and my heart rate. She's following me. I hide down in my car and she's driving up and down the aisles like a psycho. nearly hitting other vehicles and people walking, until she gives up and leaves. I never thought in my life a Karen would get that upset about not being able to move her car up like 1 car length, and would make her want to commit murder. Entitled Trolley Mom has shortcut access denied. I was shopping at my local supermarket. Once my trolley was full, I headed to the checkouts. The queues for the staffed checkouts were long, so I decided to take my chances at the quieter self-checkouts. I stood behind a couple that had a full trolley and had just started unloading. It was still going to be a little wait for me, but that would give me time to look at my groceries and figure out how I had exceeded my weekly budget yet again. The couple in front of me were both very tall. If I had a basketball team, they would be pick 1 and pick 2 for me. Unpacking a trolley at the checkout beside us was a mom with a toddler. The toddler was pushing boundaries as little ones do, and the mom was handling the energetic little boy and unpacking like a pro. Behind her and beside me was an older man who was delighted to watch the toddler's antics. Directly across from this supermarket is an Aldi. I saw a woman exiting there and walking in a straight line directly towards us. She was pushing a half-full Aldi trolley and walking along with a boy who was about 12. I look around, and the entrance to our supermarket is literally just 30 feet away from us, but Aldi mom keeps coming straight at us. I wonder if she knows the tall woman or toddler mom, and she is coming to say hello. Nope, she doesn't know anyone. She walks up and stops with her trolley centered in front of toddler mom and the tall woman, and then looks at them expectantly. I realize she's trying to walk through. I am looking at the space available between the 2 self-checkouts, and there is not much. 2 sets of trolleys with people on either side is a close fit, and there is just enough space for a slim person to walk through. "Excuse me," Aldi mom says. "Yes," tall woman answers. "I need to get through." "There is not enough room for you to get through," tall woman responds. "Can you please move?" The tall woman looks at her husband, who is shaking his head in disbelief, and then she says, "Move where exactly?" Our lack of space to move is apparently not Aldi mom's problem, as she says, "Can you just move? I am in a hurry." "Aren't we all?" the tall woman says, and she casually turns and goes back to unpacking her trolley. Toddler mom, who had stopped to watch, then continues to unpack too. Aldi mom looks from side to side with an expression that says, she has never been treated like this before. She turns her trolley and begins walking towards the entrance, but not without her parting shot as she says to her son in a voice for all to hear, "Some people are just so rude." Yes, some people are so rude, the tall woman responds quickly. "And if you are here to buy some manners, as you clearly have none left, I think they are on aisle 4. The old man beside me bursts into laughter, and is so loud people nearby turn to look. Toddler mom thinks it's funny as she laughs as well. The toddler doesn't get the joke, but when he sees his mom laugh, he laughs too. Aldi mom's face turns bright red and she walks away as fast as she can. That's going to be it for today, guys. Thank you for watching. Be sure to drop a like, I'd really appreciate it. And even more so if you hit that subscribe button. So I'm out of here. Have an awesome day, and I'll see you all next time.